Hey, good morning, people. Good to be with you today. Today I'm in the most fortunate position to be in for its type, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, Cape Town. And I'm coming to you from the West Coast, looking out at the sunset again, hoping to catch this for our devotion today. You know, it's a beautiful thing. We've been talking about what it means to stand, in a biblical context. And there are so many implications and so many applications for this particular phrase. But we're talking about what it means to stand in the gap. We're talking about how God, through Ezekiel, tells us that He's always on the lookout for people who are ready and willing to stand in the gap, which simply means that we're there to take the hand of God, take the hand of the hurting, join the two together and get the heck out of there, because that's what God would want for us to do. So in the gap standers are people who are able to do that. They've been through the training, they've been through the period of preparation, they've done the solitude, they've done the secrecy, they've done the silence, and now they are ready. But I've been looking for a real life example of somebody who has done these things. Now I have 3 biblical examples that I'd like to share with you one day at a time, but I have a real life example for you. We have had the privilege of just spending a little bit of time with the Berger family, John and Karen and Ingrid Chonstad, and it's been wonderful just to spend time with these people. And knowing them as well as I do, I have met a group of people who have been great in the gap standers. Wherever they go, they're looking for a gap to stand in, to connect the hand of God, to connect the hand of the hurting, and to join them together. But I want to tell you, the real hero of the show is Uncle Doug. Uncle Doug is now 94 years old, and he has served God all his life. He was married to the most amazing lady, Auntie Merle Chonstad. And I've got to tell you that I watched this couple just stand in the gap on behalf of our church, along with a whole lot of other really wonderful, now pretty senior people in our church. Prior to Helene and I getting there 27 years ago, they hadn't had a pastor for a number of years. And these great people, Doug and Merle and a whole bunch of others that I wish I had time to mention them all, stood in the gap waiting for my and Helene's arrival. And when we arrived, it was so easy because these guys had prepared the ground for us to do that which God had called us to do. They stood in the gap. They had been prepared, they'd done everything, and their hearts were great toward God. But there's one thing I question, is what was the motive behind these great stander in the gapper of people? What was on their hearts? What was on their minds? What was it that made them do the things that they did? Now the 3 examples that I have to share with you will illustrate exactly what I'm saying. The first group of people are people who just can't help themselves. They see the need, they see the fact that people need to connect with God, they see the thing, and they just can't help themselves. Their passion overwhelms them. Now when I think of that from a biblical point of view, I think of Nehemiah. Nehemiah had heard the cry of Jerusalem. He heard the cry of people who had been, apparently it looked like God had abandoned them. And now there they were in Jerusalem. They were vulnerable to attack from the enemies. And all Nehemiah had to do was to hear their story. And we read the book of Nehemiah of somebody who said, God, I'm ready, I'm willing, I'm wanting, I am passionate. My heart is broken for the people of Jerusalem. You don't have to ask me to go. You don't have to tell me to go. I know what I need to do. And so you read the story, go and read the great book of Nehemiah, and you read the story of a man totally impassioned with the call of God to go and stand in the gap and reunite the people again, to reestablish their place of worship, to reestablish their spiritual and racial integrity, to go there and to be the in the gap stander person. Now his motive was simply because he couldn't help himself. He saw a need. He said, man, I can't bear this. My heart breaks for these people. I now need to go and to be able to show them and to be able to be a part of what they're doing in order to reestablish the faith and the building back in Jerusalem. These people are unique. They are absolutely unique. So the first category of motivated people is the motivated people who just simply can't help themselves. They see a need and they say, get out of my way, because come whatever, come what may, come hell or high water, I'm going to stand in the gap and I'm going to connect these good people to God. Have a look around you, people. You'll see people like that. Go down through church history, have a look through biblical history, and you will see people just impassioned. People whose hearts are broken for the needs of the people around them, and they can't help themselves. They just do it. Isn't that cool? I hope you're one of them. If not, wait for tomorrow. Maybe there'll be another motivation then. But have a great day, people. And to all those passionate, gap-standing in people, thank you and very well done. We're proud of you. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Bye.